how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. We are reaching the end of February. I simply cannot believe that February is already over. I feel like it went by in such a fast, whirlwind. I don't know how we got here, but I'm excited to continue moving forward through the year. This is my February favorites video. This is just a roundup of the things that I was loving so much in the month of February. I have a mixture of makeup, nail polish, I have a book, I have TV shows, movies, games. I have all sorts of stuff to talk about. So we're gonna hop into it. I love doing these roundup recap kind of videos. I always love hearing what your favorites for the month were as well. So please leave your favorites down below. I love chatting with you and hearing from you. Before we get into the favorites video, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my Instagram and TikTok by the time this video goes up. And as far as my accessories go, this choker I got at a shop in Orlando called Prometheus Esoterica a couple years ago. I don't know the original seller, and this wig is from insert name here. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and chat about my favorites for February. First things first, let's just dive into makeup, and we're just gonna roll through it in the order that I do my makeup. First up is one that I feel like I was really almost stubbornly not admitting I loved it as much as I do, but I've recently decided that I adore this product. I've been using it for a couple months now, and it's definitely a favorite. It's the Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightener. I love this. I love it so much. I use it every day. I use it in conjunction with my concealer. If anything, I use this almost more than my concealer in a way. With my concealer, I usually just do a tiny little dot right here. I'll kind of hit up around my nose, and then if I have any breakouts, I'll spot conceal those. And then after I blend it out, I go in with this and really put more under my eyes and kind of up here as well. And I'll even put a little on my nose if I feel like I need a little bit of highlighted definition after I bronze and stuff like that. This is so good. It's so creamy and blendable. It's so lightweight. It blends so easy. If anything, I actually use my fingers fairly often, which is very rare for me. I don't really use my fingers to apply my makeup, but it works really well for this, but also a sponge and brush does the trick as well. I like the little metal ball. It feels nice and cooling. It is a really nice product, and I'm finally admitting how much I love it. Next, Milk Makeup came out with a Sculpt Contour Stick. It's a cream. Mine is in the shade Toasted. Really like it. Super creamy, super blendable. I'm wearing it today. I've been wearing it most days the last couple weeks, and I really enjoy this. I was obsessed with their baked bronzer stick for years, and then I recently decluttered it just because it was so old, like it was past its prime. But this contour stick is reminding me how much I loved that creaminess. And I actually have a mini of a bronzer they sent as well, right here in the shade Days, which is actually a little lighter than baked, which I appreciate. I haven't used it yet though, so I can't speak on it. More on that later. I've very much been into the contour stick, but so far so good. I really like it. It's super creamy, super blendable. Very happy with that. Moving into eyeshadow now, the only eyeshadows that I feel like I can talk about because they consumed so much of my life over February. It's the Perfect World collection from Odin's Eye. It is a 3-part collaboration that I got to be a part of, and I am so incredibly excited. I'm so glad I got to share this opportunity with Amanda from Makeup Just for Fun and Lauren from Lauren May Beauty. I'm so excited about our palettes. Obviously, I'm sure you've heard about at least myself, if not all three of us, talk about all of these palettes at this point, but I'm gonna go through them again. This one is mine, the Planet Spirit palette. At this point, I've uploaded many a video across my YouTube, my Instagram, my TikTok. I've posted so many tutorials with this already, and I will continue to post more. I'm just obsessed with it. It's a colorful dream. I love how bright and fun it is. I'm so obsessed with my shimmers. I love these colors. Oh, it makes my heart so happy. And I've been loving seeing your excitement. I've already been seeing your looks. You guys have started receiving your palettes, and I am just loving it. My heart is so full. Thank you so much. If you bought one, or even if you just said kind words, I really appreciate you. And of course, let me shout out my friends here because they did amazing. This is Amanda's Makeup Just for Fun's the Flora Story palette. She killed it with these yummy colors. And then Lauren May Beauty's Sea Talk palette is so pretty as well. I love those shimmers. I've uploaded multiple videos with those palettes as well, creating different looks. And I'm just so happy for them. I'm so happy for all of us. I'm so proud of us. We did such a good job, I feel like. I love how all of these palettes are so different, but they play together so nicely. And we didn't know about each other's palettes. Like, we knew that it was a 3-part collab, but we didn't know who each other were, and we didn't know what each other's palettes were looking like until we were really deep into the process. So I'm really happy with how well these all flow together, almost unintentionally, you know what I mean? I'm super excited about all of those, and my heart is just so full, and I'm so thankful, and those were definitely my favorite eyeshadows of the month. As of this moment that I'm filming this, all of the palettes are still available. I'm pretty pretty sure the bundle is even still available. So if you want to pick anything up, you can. Codes don't work on the collabs themselves, but if you pick up anything else, if you end up shopping for these palettes, you can use my affiliate code battybean to save on anything besides the collabs. Moving on to lips now. This gloss has consumed my life. It's been like a conscious decision not to wear it as often, and it was very difficult. But it's the Fenty Ice Cold Hearted Gloss. It is a lovely clear gloss with a minty, like cooling sensation. It's not plumping. It just feels cold and wonderful, and it's just so shiny. It's just a clear gloss. I don't even know why I swatched it, but you can see that shine on there. This was a subscriber gift. Thank you so much, Gigi. I love this gloss so much. I've been wearing it nonstop. Again, I've had to try really hard not to wear it as often. Oh, I love that minty scent. It is so, so refreshing. It's such a good one. I think I'm gonna love this, especially in the summer, just for that cold feeling in the middle of hot, nasty, sticky Florida, which it's actually pretty hot and sticky today, and I'm not happy about it because it is literally February. Next up, I got sent the Chucky collection from Glamlight, and while the collection as a whole I was pretty happy with, the Chucky lip kit specifically I really love. I really like the lipstick that was in it. I'm actually wearing the Tiffany one right now, and it's really pretty as well, but the Chucky one, it's just such a good neutral. As much as I love colorful, bright, fun, even grungy makeup, I love a neutral lip. I love a clear gloss. I love a basic lip with a bold eye. I also love a bold lip like today, but you can't go wrong with this. I think it's such a pretty tone. I really like the formula of this. It's very creamy, very comfortable. This was my first time trying any lip products from Glamlight, and I was very happy with that lipstick. So wanted to shout that one out. Moving on now to some nail polish. I made a Mooncat order recently. It's one of my favorite nail polish brands, and I got 3 new shades, and I wanted to share them with you. I'm not wearing any of them today. This is just a hollow one from Hollow Taco. It's supposed to be a topper, but I just did a couple layers so it would be sparkly and pretty. This first one is Crystal Lake. It's such a pretty, sparkly, delicious blue. I feel like the bottle tells a pretty good story of what these polishes look like, but they are unreal when they're actually on the nails, but I'm not gonna sit here and swatch all the polishes. That's just not happening. This one is Mermaid Bay. It's so pretty. It has like a really pretty shift to it, and these are so sparkly. I love. It's so good. And this next one I think is my favorite of the 3. It's called High Fructose. I just love the shift in this. I feel like this one looks so different depending on how the light's hitting it. These are all so pretty. Again, one of my favorite nail polish brands ever. I think I have 6, maybe 7 shades now, and I'm obsessed and I want them all. Thank you very much. Moving on to a book. I know. Shocking. Who is she? We went to Savannah last weekend. I don't know if it's last weekend by the time this video goes up, but last weekend, as of the moment that I'm filming this, it's on a Friday. But we went last weekend. I love the E-Shaver bookseller store. It's a super cute bookstore. It's very old, like the building is old and there's cats that live in there. It's just the best thing ever. And even though I'm not the biggest reader, it's such a fun time and I love visiting it. So I wanted to go back, and I actually bought a book that I kept seeing around, and it piqued my interest and I decided to buy it. And then between like a 4 or 5 day period, I finished the whole book, which is a big deal to me because I don't read that often. I used to be a big reader in like middle school and high school, even elementary school. I was a big reader growing up, and then I just kind of lost it in adulthood. You know, adult things take over. I also feel like part of it might just be the pressure that is put on kids to read growing up in schools and like the AR points and stuff like that. It becomes like, as much as I liked reading, it was still like a thing I had to do. So then when I didn't have to anymore, I just didn't. But I think I'm a book girly now. I'm really excited. I'm already gonna buy the sequel of this weekend. But it's The X-Hex by Erin Sterling. It was so cute. It's a pretty easy read, like 300 pages. It's like a romance witchy book, super cute. There's some mystery involved. I quite enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun reading this one. I almost wish I could read it again for the first time because I really enjoyed it. And I'm super excited to buy the sequel this weekend, hopefully, if I can find it. If not, I will order it online, but I'd like to buy in person if I can. So yeah, loving this book so far. I have a few books already on my wish list that I'm gonna buy soon. So hopefully I'll have more books to report back to you next month because I really do want to read more. I like that it can really take me out of my real life. I'm not plugged into any technology. I'm just immersed in a book in a different world, away from all of my troubles and focusing on something else and letting my mind do something different than it normally does. And looking at a book is so much better for my eyes than like looking at my phone all day. And I'm just super excited about my new book journey, and I'd love to hear your book recommendations as well. I like romance, I like spooky things, I like witches and vampires and things like that. I don't want anything that's too intimidating right off the bat, nothing too large while I'm getting into my reading journey again, but I really like this one. There was also some comedic aspect to it as well. It was a really fun book. Moving into TV shows now, we watched the first part of You season 4. The second part comes out, I think, like March 9th, and I really liked it. It's only 5 episodes so far, very different than the previous You seasons. This one's very much like a whodunit murder mystery kind of season, vastly different than before, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I like kind of the turn that the show took because I feel like you can only do the same thing so many times before it gets very boring. And I'm curious to see what happens in the second part because I feel like they left us off really wanting more. So I'm excited to see where it goes. Movies. I have 2 movies that we saw this month and I really, really enjoyed them. First being Knock at the Cabin. I loved it. I feel like that movie is very divided. I looked on Twitter after I saw the movie and I feel like people either absolutely loved it or they absolutely thought it was trash. I personally loved it. I liked that sense of impending doom the whole time. I liked the kind of doomsday-esque vibe that it had. I wouldn't personally consider it a horror. It was more just like tense and suspenseful, and it made me feel anxious, but like in a good way. I really enjoyed it. Dave Bautista absolutely killed it. He is so good, and I really liked it. One of M. Night Shyamalan's good movies. And I also recently saw the new Ant-Man, and I loved that as well. I feel like, again, the Ant-Man movies are very divided. I feel like people either love them or they simply don't care and they skipped them. But Ant-Man is so underrated, you gotta watch them. They're so funny. Paul Rudd is such a treasure. He's wonderful and needs to be protected at all costs. And I really like this new one, and this one's gonna be especially important if you do follow the Marvel movies just because they introduced the new bad guy, who's gonna be like the new Thanos basically, and the big like plot point for the next era of Marvel movies. So really excited to see some new things introduced, excited to see where things go from here, and I really enjoyed it. I thought there was a good mixture of funny, it was beautiful, like there were so many good, like just beautiful visual effects with the scenery and stuff because it took place in the quantum realm, and I really enjoyed it. Also, last but not least, a game. I feel like I've talked about it enough that it deserves to be in a favorites video now, but we've been playing through the Persona 5 Royal game. Zane played it years ago, like the original one before it was Persona 5 Royal. He just played Persona 5. But then Game Beauty was coming out with the collection with Persona 5, and I wanted to play the game a little bit to get it, like, I don't know, involved with the characters, especially since Zane said he played it and he really enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, let's play it. We're not very far into it. Like, I think we still have a long way to go. We just finished the museum part recently. If you've played the game, you know where that is. It's like the second boss, essentially. But I'm really liking it so far. Very story driven. I like the characters. I like kind of watching everything unfold and getting to know all the new characters as they get introduced, and I'm excited to see where the game continues to go. And yeah, that rounds it up for my February favorites. This was I feel like a good roundup. I had a good mixture of makeup and non-makeup things. I would love to hear your thoughts. Have you tried any of the things I mentioned or watched or played any of the shows or games I mentioned? Have you read the book I mentioned? Are you interested in any of these in general? And again, please leave your favorites from the month down below. I love hearing your favorite things that you are enjoying. If you made it to the end of this video, why don't you leave your current favorite emoji? That's always a good one for this video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me on my other socials. You can join the battybean fam. I am battybean on everything, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And if you want, you can subscribe. If you want to see more of my videos, I'm posting most days here as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. Just hoping I don't get lipstick on my teeth and then not realize it. We'll see.